I'm writing a paper on race for my current issues class. The first place I will look for information, I'll start with Google and Fox News. I chose this because I feel like this is a reliable source and has very up-to-date information on what's going on with race in the United States. I will keyword race once I get to Fox News because that's a general idea that should come up with a lot of information. Let's see, I chose this link because it had Monty Williams, and it talked about why 2016 race has me wondering if America's best days are behind us. So we'll see. This talks a lot about the GOP and what's going on in the political world with race and how they're going about handling things this way. I will save this link using Word. Next place I will look is Google Scholar. I think Google Scholar is a good place to find peer review articles and other things like that. And I'll keyword race in America. Pick this article: has race declined in America? It depends on who is asking and what is asked. Didn't really like that one just because it didn't really have too much information that I thought would be useful for what I was writing about. We'll pick rethink social policy, race, poverty, and the underclass. the next website that I choose is Galileo, because I use this a lot. Have used this a lot throughout my schooling. It's always really reliable and comes up with good information. Here I will search, again I'll just search race issues in America. Actually going to change that because it came up a lot about running. We'll do race discrimination. So I picked the first one, that's racial and ethnic discrimination. And I'm going to cite this source and use some of these quotes. I feel like this is a good source because it doesn't just talk about what we may think race is just from like our point of view, but goes from a bunch of different ethnicities and how they're all affected. So I'll copy that into my Word document. Okay.
I'm writing a paper on global warming in my environmental science class. So the first place I'm going to be looking for my information. Once this pops up, let's see, I'm going to go to Google. And the first thing I'm going to go to is, I'm just going to search global warming and see what we get. Global warming facts, actually, let's go with that. Page is loading, but let's see what we get here. So we have Alright, we're on nature.org. It seems to be a pretty credible site. Not too much on global warming. Let's see. So I would normally begin the research process by taking notes, go ahead and seeing what my topic is completely about, because so I want to have a good idea of what I'm actually researching. Let's see. The site's got cookies on it. Is that? Okay, I didn't know if it was popping. It's not popping up, so I'm not sure if it's. Let's see. Alright, so I chose this site ecologic.org because I also felt it was more credible than using something like Wikipedia, of course. I would save this course because it's got some good information on global warming, something that I would like to use in the paper. Factual information. I usually keep up with my sources by going and adding them to the works cited. Kind of a rough works cited before I finish the paper, but at least add the link on there, then go back later. Let's go back. So sometimes what I'll do if I can't find any good stuff on regular Google, I'll use Google Scholar. Let's go back and go ahead and look up global warming on Google Scholar. And here we have a link that says fingerprints of global warming on wild animals and plants. So go ahead and click on that, see where it brings us. The site is on nature.com. Let's see what we got here. Looks pretty credible. Get the published date, everything. Publisher, whatnot. Let's see. Fingerprints. This is probably something I'd use too because it's also using factual information in the text. So I'd probably add this to the works site and save it as well. Let's go back to Google Scholar. Now I'm going to go ahead and type in Google Scholar. I'm going to say, why is global warming bad? Alright, here's something that looks good. It says, so this link says, will changes in soil organic carbon act as a positive or negative feedback on global warming? Actually, so no, I probably won't use that. That's perceptions of global warming. That could be good. That looks like something I would want to use. Public perceptions of global warming. Let's click on that. This is a site I probably would not use. I couldn't find any publisher date, or author, nothing. Um, Nothing of it looked very credible, nothing reliable. Alright, here we go. So I went back to Google Scholar, and here's robust negative impacts of climate change on African agriculture. And this is on IOP.org, IOPscience.org. Once again, this is all factual information. It's got the two authors, we got their publisher, and this looks like a pretty credible site. A lot of factual stuff that I'd probably use in here as well. So I'll go ahead and save this one too. And so to start, I usually probably start off with 3 or 4 sources, so we'll go ahead and try and find one more. Alright, clicked on a link. We're on ametsoc.org. And I've got a lot of authors on here. Under it's got their credentials, so it looks pretty credible. Let's see what we got here. Is there any information? Okay. Let's go to the PDF on the article. Alright. Asymmetric trends of daily maximum and minimum temperature. New perspective on recent global warming. Just going and scanning through to look if this would be good or not for my paper or for research. So just skimming through it a little bit. I like here how it's got all this information once again, all factual graphs and evidence. So this looks like a source I would use as well. So I'd go ahead and save that. And then once I get those four sources, I'll dig deeper into those four sources and get my information from there. Um, so that's is that as far as you want me to go today, or is that okay? Cool.
I am writing a paper on diversity issues for Intro to Criminal Justice class. The first place I will search for my information is Google because it is the most common website that I use. I begin the research process by typing in genetic diversity because those are the keywords in the paper that I'm writing. I scroll past Wikipedia because I don't think it's a credible source. Anybody can put anything on Wikipedia. I normally try to look for the web pages that end in .org or .edu or .gov. They seem more accurate to me. I choose this link because it says the importance of genetic diversity. And I'm leaving this site because this has to do with biology. So this is not what I need. I'm changing my word search. Genetic diversity and how it relates to criminal justice. I'm clicking on this website. The title of it is Database of Human Genetic Diversity Allows Identification. I'm changing my search terms because again this doesn't relate. I'm going to try mm, criminal justice, genetic diversity instead. I choose this link because it's a national criminal justice reference server and it provides a book that I can go get. Meaning that's probably nothing helpful on the website, so they give me a different choice source that may be helpful. So I'm opening up Word document because I would like to save this source because it's still helpful, even if it's not giving me information I need yet. It'll take me where I need to go. So, okay, I'm choosing a different link, and the title of it, the role genetic information plays in the criminal justice system, which is basically what I've been looking for. Because I like to think that it plays an important role because that's how like you stereotype and like different races or stereotype from their background and who's more likely to commit crime. I'm just scrolling through here. I'm not going to read this yet because generally I like to get like 3 to 4 good sources before I start actually reading. Save this to the Word document so I can go back and view it later. The next place I'm going to look for information going back to Google. I clicked on a link that says bioethics and genetic diversity from the perspective of UNESCO and non-governmental organizations. Not really sure what the acronym is for, but When skimming through here, and it looked like it might tie into criminal justice and genetic diversity, how it plays an important role. So I'm going to use it as a source too. If it doesn't work, just come back, go in a Word document, save my link. Unlike this title that says genetic diversity ends important disparities. So I'm gonna click on this and scroll through. It says genetic diversity sometimes can interact with social processes. I like this, and I think it would tie in nicely. So I'm gonna use it. Save another link to my Word document. And I have the sources that I want. So, and that's it.
I am writing a paper on Marfan syndrome for my biology class, and specifically the genetics behind it. I'm going to start with Google. And the first website I'm going to use is marfan.org because it is the official website for the disorder and has the most up-to-date and reliable information. And with most of the basic information being easy to find, I wouldn't copy and paste anything directly because it's easy to locate within the website. And I would begin my research process by just reading through everything that's available because it's easy to access. Given the nature and information available for Marfan syndrome, I wouldn't deviate too much from marfan.org because a lot of it is unreliable. I would use this website because it is .gov. It has somewhat more authority than Wikipedia, and it gives basic overviews and details into the genetics. Um, I think for a general paper, you wouldn't need more than these two to write about Marfan syndrome. If I were to use Wikipedia, I would use the sources Wikipedia cited. Rather than using it verbatim. So all of these reference sources could be used. And anything I found useful, I would copy and paste to a Word document and use as needed.